Join the guiding light already in progress. Is Barnaby guilty or innocent? Today at 4.
Much.
Night, sport.
I'll see you all when I put him to bed.
Okay. Well, Mike, how's your drink?
I'm fine.
A little strange that Amanda hasn't called to say she was going to be late. We set the party for 7. She's usually very punctual.
Yeah. Oh, maybe she had a little car trouble or something.
Yes, but surely she'd call.
Well, there aren't that many phones out there, Dan.
That's true. You're right about that.
Listen, if it make you feel better, I'll be glad to drive out that way.
Well, I don't know. I can't believe we wouldn't have heard something if Amanda were having trouble.
It might have just taken her a while to get ready, you know.
It's possible that she just forgot all about it. I mean, when I spoke to her earlier today, she seemed very distracted. Maybe we should give her a call.
Wait a minute, Dad. It's her birthday. How could she forget her own birthday party?
Well, she might if Mark Evans were distracting her. Why don't I call the house and see if she's left?
Do you know whether or not Berta's coming tonight?
Yeah, I think she...
Oh, did she? The Martins? Well,
She'll probably walk in 1 minute or something
Yeah,
like that.
probably.
Yeah, I think she was working.
I know she was with Martin for a while. I don't know if she's going to
That's odd. There's no answer. I mean, I wonder why Maggie isn't picking up the phone.
Maybe, is Maggie's night off, maybe?
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yes, I suppose you're right. No real reason for me to worry, I'm sure. No. Sure Amanda will come through the door any minute.
Listen. Did you hear a car? I think I just heard a car pull up.
I didn't hear anything.
No car. I'm gonna get another beer.
You've already had a beer, and you're going to have champagne later, Tony.
Thank you very much, Mother. I don't need any help counting my beers.
Oh, well, if you're going to call me Mother, I know you're serious. I'll stop counting.
Thank you.
What time is it?
About 5 to 8.
But I don't understand this at all. He's over half an hour late.
Come on, everybody's late once in a while.
But not Quinn. He's never late.
Yeah, well, Nola, calm down. You get used to it. I mean, I got used to it. Ed being a doctor, there's always some emergency coming up. You know, one time he told me to go ahead and meet him at an Italian restaurant. An emergency came up. I sat there for 2 hours staring into a plate of spaghetti.
But he wouldn't be late on a night like tonight. It's too important.
No, Nola's right. It isn't like him to be late. You know what I think, honey? I'd better stop to get you some flowers or a little present or something.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
No, I didn't think of that. He probably stopped off to get something because you know tonight's very important to him and you want to be here even if he is late.
Yeah, that's probably what happened.
Too bad the old man couldn't be here to see his youngest daughter get engaged, huh?
Oh, don't start it on your father.
Excuse me, but every time somebody doesn't show up, I start thinking about him.
Look, that's not going to happen. I know Quentin's going to be here. He will, and he's not at all like Dad.
I'm sorry. I know, Quint's limo's probably so long he's just having trouble making the corners in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Well, Sam, our little tableau is almost complete. Quentin McCord is about to join us.
I don't know what you're talking about, and why don't you stop calling me Sam?
Oh, please don't antagonize her. I'm frightened.
There's no need to be frightened, Amanda. Everything's gonna be all right, and I can explain all of this to you.
You have more people than Amanda to explain to. Many more.
Rebecca, what the hell is going on here?
Hello, Quentin.
Your note said you were going to try and kill yourself. What are these people doing here?
Find out soon enough.
You listen to me. Whatever it is, I want you to stop it. Do you understand? And let these people go. I promise I'll make up everything to you.
You don't understand. I'm going to commit suicide. A ritual reenactment of my suicide. And now that the last player has taken his place, I can begin.
What is Mr. McCord doing here? I don't understand what he has to do with any of this.
Oh, it's quite simple, really. 3 years ago, Quentin and I were engaged to be married. That's right, isn't it?
Yes, that's right.
And my name was Mona Enright at that time. That's true, too, isn't it?
Yes, it's true.
A week after we were engaged, Quentin went off on an archaeological dig for several months. He had a penchant for disappearing that way.
Yes, I did. So, what does that have to do with these people?
Let me enlighten you. This man you know as Mark Evans. This is the man I married while you were away. Let me introduce you to Samuel Pasquin.
There's so many Mexican styles for people.
All right, what of it? Doesn't matter now, it's all in the past.
I have no idea why she's accusing me of these things. I'm not Samuel Pasquin. That was an alias used by a man named Brian Lister.
You two passed that name back and forth like a bottle of whiskey. You dreamed it up together the night you saw me sitting at the bar in the Hotel Saint-Moritz. Quentin had been in Tunisia for several weeks, and I went there every night during that time because I was afraid he wasn't going to come back to me, and I didn't know how I was going to tell my father I was pregnant with his child.
You were pregnant?
That's right. I was almost 3 months pregnant while you were sitting at the other end of the bar watching me, buying me drinks and waiting. You were always waiting, weren't you?
Stop torturing everyone with this. It's not doing you any good.
Oh, that's what you both always wanted, to keep me quiet, isn't it?
I thought you would go to the police. As a matter of fact, I expected you would.
Oh, that would be too easy, Quentin. I want to see you suffer the way I've suffered all these years since. And as for you, Mark...
Please tell me what happened. I want to know.
Yes. Yes, I thought you would. Well, one night, the man at the end of the bar, this man, he got up and he walked over to where I was sitting and he introduced himself to me as Samuel Pasquin. He told me I was beautiful and desirable and that he wanted me desperately. Does any of this sound familiar to you, Amanda? Yes, I thought it might. Anyway, a week later, we were married.
To this man, to Mark Evans?
Yes. He seduced me, and then he persuaded me to marry him while you were away, Quentin. Oh, not because he loved me, but because he knew how rich I was. Mark was the one who came between us. That's what I tried to tell you 3 years ago on the cliff in Switzerland, but you wouldn't listen to me. You started shaking me, and then you fell yourself.
You fall with me.
No. I was running and crying and trying to get you help. Mark, you stand there. I said stand there. Suddenly, as I was running, I saw Sam standing there, waiting. Just as he'd waited in the bar at the Hotel Saint-Moritz. He had the strangest sort of half-smile on his face. I told him that you were hurt, and that I'd been trying to explain to you about him that our marriage was a mistake, that he had to help me. Tell your Amanda what you told me, Sam, and then show her what you did.
It was an accident, that's all.
I remember it very clearly. It was no accident. Sam told me our marriage was no mistake. He'd planned it all very carefully. He said he'd be glad to help me. He started to put his arms around me. And suddenly I was very frightened. And before I knew what was happening, he'd maneuvered me to the edge of the cliff. And before I knew what happened, he pushed me out into the abyss.
It wasn't me. I didn't do it, did I?
No, Quentin. You didn't do it. They found me when they found you. My face was terribly damaged from where it had bashed against the rocks. I lost the ability to speak. Do you know about all that, don't you?
Yes.
The worst, the most horrible part was when they told me that I'd lost the child I was carrying. Your child, Quentin. I never told you this, But the doctors said it was a boy. Or would have been. You see? Sam Pasquin killed our son.
My son.
Oh, you will, Quentin. You will. But not just yet.
I don't know. I don't understand it. Maybe, I mean, he is over an hour late, and maybe there was some sort of accident or something.
No. If there was an accident, they'd notify you.
Oh, come on, Maureen. Those hospital people, it takes forever to call anybody.
Well, you know, Fritz is a good driver, and the car is in excellent condition, dear.
Then where is he?
Hey, come on, maybe they got a flat tire or something. It doesn't have to be something serious. Look, why don't you call Mrs. Renfield? She ought to know what's going on, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, I don't think it'll win any Nobel Prizes. Oh, it's a good idea, Ma.
Quiet, sweet.
Yeah, hi, Mrs. Renfield. Yeah. Well, listen, I was wondering, Quint was gonna meet me over here at the boarding house. We had a date tonight, and it's been over an hour now, and he hasn't shown up, and I haven't heard anything. Do you know, did you see him leave the house? You did? Yeah. Yeah, that is very strange. All right. Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Renfield.
Well, what did she say?
She said she saw him around, I guess, 7 o'clock. He was all dressed and ready to leave, and then, you know, she went back in there a couple minutes later, and he was gone.
And he's on his way, right?
Yeah. No, something funny happened because I guess he left the front door was wide open, and he didn't take the limousine. Fritz was waiting in it. He jumped in the sports car and just took off.
Oh, well, did he talk to Fritz?
No, he didn't say a word to him.
This is really odd. Wait, that was over an hour ago, and it only takes about 15 minutes to get here from Thorway Road.
Well, now, don't jump to conclusions, everybody. I'm sure that there's a logical explanation for all of this.
Yeah, I just hope the explanation is he hasn't changed his mind and decided not to marry me.
Still no answer. Now I'm really beginning to worry.
She's over 2 hours late already.
What could she have done to you, suppose?
Obviously, there's something wrong. I think I'll give Ross Waller a call. Maybe he knows something.
Well, what did he know?
Well, there's been some new developments in the Mark Evans case. And he might have called Amanda in for questioning.
At night? And he's questioned her already. I mean, hasn't he done enough to her as it is? I know you're going to say it's only part of his job, but I think it goes beyond that.
And I haven't wanted to tell you this, but yesterday Amanda got a birthday present with a card in it from Mona Enright.
What?
I don't get it. Who's Mona Enright?
Peter Enright's daughter.
But that's not possible.
Why not?
Mona Enright has been dead for 3 years.
Well, supposedly, but there have been some very strange things happening recently.
Yeah, if she's sending out birthday cards, I'd say you're right. Sounds very strange.
Entirely too strange, and I'm not going to sit here and wait.
Alan, where are you going to go?
I'm going to go to Amanda's house, and if one thing is out of place, I'm going to call the police.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you. I don't like this any better than you do.
Listen, you want me to come along with you now?
No, I'd rather you stayed here with Hope. I don't want her to be alone until I know what's happening with Amanda.
Yeah.
No, listen, Philip, if you've got other plans, really don't.
No, that's okay. My schedule's free. Fine.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Listen, Alan, if Amanda does come here, what should I do?
Tell her where we've gone and tell her to stay here. It'd be a great relief to me if she did show up.
Try not to worry too much, okay?
Well, how would you feel if it were Hope?
I'd feel the same way.
Well, then let's go.
Be patient, everyone. It won't be long now.
What are you going to do?
You'll soon find out for yourself. You know, it's odd. I remember looking at my watch after you fell that night. It was 9:32, right before I ran into Sam. Oh, I remember it so vividly. 9:32 on April the 29th, which means it's 3 years ago, almost to the minute. We're all here to celebrate a very grim anniversary.
And you've been planning this all along?
Yes. I've wanted my revenge ever since that night. It's why I allowed Quentin to take me to his house to recuperate. I knew my man had found his next rich, vulnerable lady. And I was right. It was your poor mother. I wanted to be around to watch him in operation. and to try and protect whoever it was. I never dreamed that Sam would move directly from the mother to the daughter. I didn't think even he had that much nerve.
That was probably my biggest mistake. But just so you realize the situation, I want you to know that Amanda's not just another woman.
Oh, Mark, don't,
No.
please.
I want her to know. And I want you to believe that until I met you, I never knew what it was like to really love someone. With all my heart, I never knew that.
Oh, I should have foreseen this and had the violins playing.
Was that before or after I gave you the evidence that proved that you're heir to half of Spaulding Enterprises?
Bravo, Amanda.
I don't want your praise.
I admire you for standing up to him. I was such a weak little thing 3 years ago. I could never have done that. He twisted me around his little finger.
I don't want to hear about it.
I've been privy to your secrets. Why shouldn't you know some of mine?
What are you talking about?
I went with you on your little trip to Lake Conestoga, although you never realized it.
You were there.
Yes. And I saw everything that happened just as I always do. Incidentally, do you recognize this?
It's Brian Lister's gun, the one I couldn't find.
Exactly.
How did you get it?
Can't you guess? I told you I was there. I picked it up while you were busy dumping Brian's body off the pier. Right after you forced him to put this to his head and pull the trigger.
Oh, my God!
All right! What if I did? You did the very same thing to my father. Somebody had to stop him. He'd hurt too many people already.
Oh, and what about you and what you've done?
I'm gonna stop this. This isn't getting us anyplace. Now listen to me. You were a witness to a very serious crime, a murder. All right. Now let's leave this place. Let's take this man to the police and let the law punish him.
After what he did to me? Oh, no. I'm going to supervise his punishment myself. I'm not going to hand him over to anyone and take the chance that he might get free. Can you imagine what it was like for me when I first met you at Spaulding Enterprises? Every muscle in my body yearned to take you by the throat and strangle the life out of you the way you tried to strangle me. I couldn't sleep at night. I loathed you so much. I lay awake plotting this night.
And after you get rid of me, what then?
Quentin and I will be together again. The way it was meant to be before Samuel Pasquin.
No, Carmen, listen to me. I told you before, things have changed.
No. No, nothing's changed. I've seen to that. And that's what I tell Peter.
Peter.
Don't you know?
Are you talking about your father?
I'm talking about Peter Enright McCord, your son. Surely you haven't forgotten, my dear. He hasn't forgotten you. Every night, when I tuck him into bed, he says to me, "Mummy, when's Daddy coming back?" And I tell him, as soon as Daddy's taken care of bad Mr. Pasquin, who hurt Mummy so badly, Daddy will come home. And then we'll be a family again, the way it was meant to be. That's what I promised. And that's what's going to happen.
Somebody got some medication. Want me to check it out? What's going on here? What happened?
Oh, Mike, Alan.
What is it, Lieutenant? Has something happened to my daughter?
Well, I don't know. I was just about to contact you to see if you'd heard from her.
Well, no, she was going to go to Allen's, and we called here when she didn't show up, and then we come over to check it out.
Well, would you please tell us what happened and why you're all here?
Well, I had a man tailing Mark Evans, and somehow Mark got around behind him, knocked him over the head, knocked him unconscious with the butt of a gun, took off.
Did he have Amanda with him?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out. The man came to just a little while ago, and he radioed in. When we got here, these doors were wide open the way they are right now. There was some piano music coming from in there and on the phonograph. Well, this date is written on the mirror.
And there was no sign of Amanda at all?
No, none. But there was no sign of a struggle or violence either.
And it's obvious he had her with him.
Evans?
Yes, and he probably persuaded her to go willingly.
Do you have any idea where he might have taken her?
No idea at all. If he's done anything to hurt her.
How long you been here?
Oh, we just got here, just before you. Wish we had some idea where they might have gone. You can't think of anything, huh?
No, but surely they left some trace.
No, nothing we've been able to find so far. Excuse me. Jesse, go out and check the garage, huh? The back. Does this date have any special significance for you?
Yes, it's Amanda's birthday. We were having a dinner party for her tonight. That's why we got so alarmed when she didn't show up.
I wonder why she'd write that there.
Well, I wish I knew.
I'm not even sure it's her handwriting. Mark might have written.
Excuse me, Lieutenant Wyatt.
Yeah, Mac, what is it?
Something's happened I think you both should know about.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right. You can talk. This is Mrs. Spaulding's father.
Oh, how you do, sir? We were checking the kitchen, and we found the maid. She'd been tied up, gagged, and somebody really slugged her with a pistol.
My God, that's Maggie. She all right?
Sir, I don't know. She's unconscious. She's lost a lot of blood. We're going to have to get her to the hospital before we can question her.
Have you called an ambulance?
Yes, sir. They're on their way right now. And Lieutenant Wyatt, if it's all right with you, maybe we can both go in the ambulance with her, and in case she comes to, we can get a statement from her.
Good idea.
Does anybody here know her name?
Yes, it's Maggie O'Byrne. She's been with Amanda for a long time. Tell them at the hospital to do everything they can to help her. I'll be responsible for all costs.
Yes, sir. I'll do that. Anything else, Lieutenant?
No, it's okay. Go ahead. Let me know as soon as she comes to. If you can get anything at all out of her.
Will do.
Well, looks like whoever left here with your daughter didn't want anybody to know.
It's Mark Evans. I'm as sure of that as I am of anything. My God, Mike, if he's done this to Maggie, what might he do to Amanda?
I don't even like to think about that. But we've got to find her, and we will.
Yeah, so we were just, Ed and I, talking about having some kind of dinner party. Because we haven't, had much time to ourselves.
No, it's because you've been over here working so much.
No, now stop it. I don't mind doing that. I was glad to do that.
What time is it?
About 9:15.
Look, just forget it. He's not coming. I'm tired of waiting.
Come here. I'll kill him if he does this to you.
Oh, Tony, stop that. That kind of talk doesn't help anything. I'm sure he's got a good reason. And getting angry isn't going to help.
Yeah, it's not like him to be so inconsiderate,
No, it isn't.
Honey, you don't really believe what you said before, do you?
Look, Mom, it isn't the first time that a man has gotten cold feet when he's thinking about getting married. Maybe Quentin just changed his mind and he couldn't bring himself to tell me.
Oh, that's ridiculous. You can't believe that.
I don't know.
Well, I certainly don't. He loves you, dear, and he wants to marry you, and whatever's holding him up, I'm sure it has nothing to do with backing out.
Well, he should have called at least, Ma.
Well, maybe he couldn't, Tony. Wait and find out what happened. It's a man of his word. If he says he's going to be here, he's going to be here. You'll see.
No, I really don't like thinking about this. I even hate to bring it up. But, you remember the night of the accident when he was, remember when he was going to tell me all about himself and he never showed up and it was the accident? Maybe that's what happened. Maybe there was an accident.
Wait a minute. We can call the cops and see if there have been any accident reports, right?
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think I know what's happened.
What?
What?
Rebecca Cartwright.
What, do you think he's with her?
She was with him the night of the accident, and he was going over to see her tonight before he came to pick me up.
You think he stayed there?
Well, I don't think he wanted to be with her, but she'd do anything to keep him away from me. She'd do anything.
It's almost time, everyone. It won't be long now. It's so close. Oh, can't you feel the excitement? Oh, no. No, probably you can't. But for me, the last 3 years of my life will be erased, and everything will be back to the way it was meant to be, as if the clock had actually been turned back.
You can't do that, Mona.
Don't tell me what I can do. You'll find out soon enough.
Mona! Listen to me. Why didn't you tell me that I didn't push you off that night, hmm? Why did you make me believe that it was my fault?
Because if I told you, you would have deserted me. I knew that. But I needed time. Time to plan this night for all of us. So I used it to keep you. Did you know I could speak long before you knew it? I tricked you. But you were the one who hurt me the most, Sam.
Then I'm the one you want to punish. I'm the one you blame for everything.
Oh, yes.
Then why don't you let Amanda go? You've got Quentin and I here. Why keep her here, too?
I have to. Oh, you know better than that.
No, I don't. That sad little story you told us was very touching. But it wasn't entirely accurate. You left out a few important details.
I didn't leave anything out.
Oh, yes, you did.
Did I? What do you think I left out?
You didn't tell the truth about who seduced whom that night at the Sun Ritz Hotel, did you? You twisted the facts. Well, the fact is, she approached me. She started talking to me. She told me her fiancé was a crashing bore and that she wished she'd never marry him. She was talking about you, Quentin.
I didn't say anything like that. You're a liar.
No, you're the one who's been lying to yourself and to us and for a very long time.
No, stop it. You're the one who pushed me off that cliff, and don't try to say you didn't.
Oh, I wouldn't do that because I did push you.
There, you see?
Yes, that's right, I did push you. And if there was any justice in the world, you'd have died that night. Because I didn't want you to suffer, but I did want you dead.
Well, you lost then, didn't you? Because I didn't die then, I survived. But I am going to die for you now. Sorry. To be quite accurate, Amanda is going to die for me.
No! No!
Is on the upturn.
Please, no.
You're insane!
Am I?
Listen to me. Please, you can't do this.
Don't tell me what I can and cannot do. Do you remember? 3 years ago, pushing me, Mark? Well, I was hoping for a repeat performance, only using Amanda. It would make it all so nice and neat. But one small change in my plans really doesn't bother me. I can adjust to it.
Mona, it's me you want, not Amanda.
Yes, but what would hurt you more, Sam, than to watch her die?
Now, Mona, listen to me.
Why?
Listen. I'll do anything you want if you let Amanda go.
Would you?
Oh, yes, I swear it. But she hasn't done anything to you. You don't want to hurt her. Mark's hurt her enough.
Sam?
Yes, Sam. Absolutely. Sam used her. Sam doesn't love her.
Yes. Yes, I suppose he doesn't. Yes. He goes around using everyone. He goes around the world destroying everyone. But I can't stop now. Amanda has to die, and then you have to kill Sam. That's the way I planned it. That's the way I promised it would happen.
Promise who?
Our son!
Mona, stop it! Stay. I'll marry you. I'll go away with you if you want. But please, don't do this.
We will go away, Quentin. But after I've done what I have to, then no one will be left to spoil our happiness. Amanda. Amanda, I'm sorry I have to do this to you. I really am. But it's the only way left now.
No!
This has been the award-winning Guiding Light. Provided by Lily Rubin Salons, South Southwest, and Barney's. Jewelry by Stephen Dweck. Be sure to be with us Monday for another full hour of Guiding Light.
Join Bob Wallace for an inside look at our Caribbean forces on